Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Qualified Headquarters. Welcome to Piper 2025. My name is Craig Swensrud, founder and CEO of Qualified, and today we're going to unveil all the new capabilities of Piper, the AI SDR. The entire program is going to run about 40 minutes. I'm going to take the first 10 minutes and talk to you about the changes that are happening in the market, the new AI marketing funnel, and the rise of the AI SDR. Then we're going to throw it over to the demo studio, where Moore and Katie are going to bring you through all the new capabilities of Piper 2025 with live demos. And finally, we've got another customer here in the studio. Jason Dent, the VP of Demand Gen at Litmus, is here to talk about his journey with Piper. Now, before we get into it, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you to the nearly 700 customers who have been on an AI journey with Qualified. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your partnership. It's you that we work to serve every single day. Thank you. And now to talk about Piper and the entire AI SDR movement, I wanted to give you all some context. What is happening in our industry? Why is there such excitement around the AI SDR? How are our marketing organizations changing? And in order to do that, we kind of have to look at the traditional marketing funnel, the funnel that's been in place at so many of our companies for the last 15 years. Marketing teams ran campaigns and generated leads. Human SDR teams worked those leads. They engaged with prospective buyers. They qualified buyers, they booked meetings for account executives, and the sales team tried to bring it across the goal line. How did this come to be and why? It all started about 15 years ago with the rise of digital marketing. We started doing everything online. Our campaigns moved online. Digital advertising, Google AdWords, social media marketing, email campaign drops, YouTube, review sites, G2, and on and on and on. But what did all of those campaigns do? What was the call to action? They drove traffic to our website. We said, come to our website to learn more. And when the buyers were there, the potential buyers, what did we all do? We invested in marketing automation platforms. We slapped forms all over our website. We said, fill out this form, and that generated leads that needed to be worked. But who was going to work those leads? Was it going to be the sales team? I don't know. They're kind of busy doing deals. Should it be the marketing team? Well, I don't know. They're kind of busy running campaigns. So what did we all choose to do? We invented a new role, and we hired young professionals right out of college or maybe with 1 year's worth of work experience, and we called them SDR, Sales Development Reps. And this is the traditional marketing funnel that's been in place at so many of our companies for the last 15 years. But this traditional funnel, it's fraught with challenges. There are 5 major challenges with human SDR teams: the cost, the capacity, the speed, the quality, and the tenure. So let me walk through each of these one by one very quickly. The first, of course, is that human SDR teams cost money. $75,000 per year is the average cost of a human SDR in North America. Sometimes it's a little bit less than that when you think about their base salary or their OTE. But when you add on all of the costs, the benefits, the payroll taxes, the recruiting, the training, the facilities costs, so when you add up all this stuff, it's $75,000, in some cases, a lot more. And a small team of human SDRs, like the one you see on the left, 4 people and a manager, this could easily cost $500,000 or more. More at some of our larger organizations that have bigger teams. But no matter how many people you hire, a human SDR has a limited capacity. They can only really work 250 leads per month. And so the ideal size of the SDR team would be all the leads that your marketing team generates divided by 250. But we don't invest in that. We can't really afford that. So we've invented a new model. We've invented the model where we put the SDR team on the leads that have the highest propensity to buy, the ones that are the most sales ready. These so-called MQLs, or marketing qualified leads. Every company has a different definition, but typically you take the leads that have the highest propensity to buy, live chat on the website, they want to talk to sales, contact sales forms, requested demo forms, and at some point you draw a line and you say, the SDRs go work these leads. This became the contract between marketing and SDRs, the MQL. And then when they get to work, they work across 2 primary channels. This is what inbound SDRs as part of the marketing funnel typically do every day. They work live chat on the website. They work the leads that come in real time. This is super effective. And they follow up with forms that are on our website. They follow up with all of those leads, typically over email. And they do both of these things. Now, we asked them to do it with speed, but this is the 3rd major challenge of human SDR teams. Speed to lead. Speed to lead is the mantra in our industry. 78% of buyers choose the vendor that responds to them first, that engages with them first, that presents to them first, that demos to them first. But this is darn near impossible. When you're talking about live chat on the website, instant response is required. The buyer is there in the moment, so you have to be there. But we don't staff our teams to work 24/7. We're constantly missing inbound conversations. We don't have all the answers at our fingertips, so we say we got to get back to you. And when demand surges, we can't multitask. No human can do like 3 things at a time. It's impossible. And when we talk about lead follow-up, it's actually worse. Look at all of the steps in this human-centric process to engage with a buyer. It is impossible to accomplish the 5-minute rule. The 5-minute rule says if you can respond to an inbound lead within 5 minutes, you're 20 times more likely for them to end up in your pipeline. But can any of us do this? Can any of our teams do this? No. The 5-minute rule is impossible. The best of the best companies in our industry can do it in 90 minutes. On average, it takes 6 hours. In the worst cases, it takes days or even weeks. So we ask people to do it with speed, but the fourth major challenge is the quality and the personalization. Do it really fast, but also do it with a high degree of quality. And we're asking this of people that are fresh out of college or young professionals with maybe 1 or 2 years worth of work experience, 4 months of ramp, and then people are missing their quota. Why? 63% of ramped SDRs ramp onto the team and miss their quota. Why? We expect the impossible of these young professionals. We expect the impossible. Here's 4 months of training, and now go answer all my product questions, have amazing market knowledge, know everything about my company, know everything about my customers, know everything about my competitors, know everything about my buyers, know everything about my partners. Oh, by the way, spend a whole bunch of time personalizing everything, but do it really fast. How can we expect quality when we ask them to do this? It's impossible. And when people get really good, the best of the best human SDRs, what happens? We promote them. We promote them in like 12 months. And some people decide, hey, sales and marketing, it's not for me. So they leave. So we're constantly recruiting, constantly training a new crop of human SDRs. When you put all this together and you look at all of these challenges, you're like, whoa, how can my team succeed? How can my marketing team generate pipeline when I have constant struggles with cost, capacity, speed, quality, personalization, tenure? This is not what we want. What do we really want? We want a team with reduced costs. We want unlimited capacity. We want instant speed. We want perfect quality, and we want the team to never leave us. But it's never before been possible. But AI has made it possible. What if the marketing funnel at your company was fully automated? And what if AI was doing all of the work? Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Piper. Of course, you know Piper, the AI SDR, makes all of this possible. Goodbye SDR cost concerns, capacity concerns, speed concerns, quality concerns, tenure concerns, and say hello for the very first time to scalable pipeline generation. It's an entirely new world. The traditional marketing funnel that you see on the left-hand side of the screen is what we've been doing for the last 15 years. And all of a sudden, AI is here and change is happening. The new AI marketing funnel is what we're going to use moving forward. And the best part for marketing leadership, for CMOs, for VPs of marketing, is it finally puts you back in control. You're in control of your destiny. You have full accountability to deliver marketing-generated pipeline for the very first time. Piper, the AI SDR, is the only AI SDR on the market that works all inbound channels. She works the website, she works the email inbox, and it is the same AI SDR that works holistically and knows all with the same brain. We've never seen anything like this before. And Piper has been built on a platform with extensive capabilities, purpose-built for sales and marketing pipeline generation. So say hello to Piper 2025. Here she is, an entire new set of capabilities that we're about to unveil to you for the very first time. Without further ado, I'd like to pass it over to Maura and Katie live in the Qualified Demo Studio to show you Piper 2025 in action. Maura, Katie, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Craig. So with this new release, Piper has a ton of new capabilities that help her intelligently and autonomously drive inbound pipeline across your two most important channels, the website and email. Now for today's product demonstration, we're going to take you through a two-part demo of Piper 2025. In the first portion of the demo, we'll showcase new features that help Piper engage and convert a strategic account. We'll dive into Piper segmentation, Piper offers library, Piper lead and account 360, Piper lead spotlight, Piper advanced goals, Piper multi-language, and Piper profiles. So let's jump in. With Piper segmentation, you can inform Piper on which segments are most important to your business and guide her on how to treat them. For instance, perhaps your business has a strong focus on a segment that uses your competitor or a top 100 target account list. Every time someone from one of these segments arrives on your website, Piper will understand which segment they fall into, which messaging will resonate, and exactly how to engage them. And with our new Piper offer library, you can keep Piper up to date on your in-market offers, from case studies to reports to virtual events. This is Piper's one-stop shop to understand which offers she should be promoting to your buyers. Now, once offers are added, Piper automatically analyzes each asset and tags the segments that she should serve them to. This makes sure that Piper is always surfacing relevant content in events that best suit each buyer, keeping them engaged and moving them down the funnel. And with Piper 2025, Piper is knowledgeable not just about segments and offers, but she's become truly all-knowing when it comes to your leads and accounts. Meet the Piper Lead and Account 360. Here you see Piper's extensive knowledge about each lead. She has a strong grasp on their browsing history, their intent, and all relevant data from your go-to-market systems. Now, alongside the Lead 360, it's the Account 360. This is Piper's comprehensive view of the account, from their buying committee to their opportunity history. Piper Lead and Account 360 give her a unified view, so she fully understands each buyer. Now, Piper has so much data that it can almost be overwhelming to us humans, but not to fret, not for Piper. So check this out. With the new Piper Lead Spotlight, Piper scans all of her insights and crafts one clear summary on each lead. It's as if we're saying, hey, Piper, what do you know about this person? Now, with the Piper Lead Spotlight, she curates a clear, concise snapshot of each buyer. With all of this knowledge, Piper is ready to go to work and achieve her goals. With Piper Advanced Goals, Piper is even better equipped to achieve desired business outcomes. Piper now has a deeper understanding of context and can treat each buyer differently. For example, she can determine which meeting type should be presented to each unique buyer rather than offering the same meeting type to everyone. Or she can offer a meeting to a buyer from a competitive campaign, while a buyer from an open opportunity is passed to their account rep for a real-time conversation. Piper Advanced Goals ensures Piper is taking into account all of that knowledge that she has about leads, accounts, and segmentation, and delivering a really bespoke sales experience. With Piper Multilanguage, Piper can officially operate across 17 different languages, from French to Portuguese to Japanese. Not only can Piper respond in the appropriate language, of course she can do that, but she can proactively start a conversation and surface offers based on the default language of your website. Now, for our global customers, this means you can officially add Piper to your regional SDR teams to better serve your buyers all around the world. And this is pipeline generation at scale. And last but not least, for this first stop on our product tour, Piper profiles have arrived. Customers with various websites, divisions, or business needs may require different AI SDR personas with different knowledge and different goals. Now, with Piper Profiles, you can easily configure multiple AI SDRs under one single qualified instance. No matter how complex your organization may be, Piper, the AI SDR, and her pals are here to help. So what are we waiting for? Let's dive into the first part of the demo, where we show Piper engage and convert a strategic account, leveraging these brand new capabilities. Katie, over to you.
Thanks, Maura. Hi, everyone. I'm live from the Qualified Studios. And for today's demonstration, we're going to be leveraging our customer Brex. They're an AI spin platform who has hired Piper to scale their inbound pipeline efforts. Now, like many great marketing teams, Brex is running targeted advertising campaigns to engage their buyers and drive traffic to their website. So for this part of the demo, we're going to leverage this buyer persona, Jen Anders. Jen is the VP of Finance at DocuSign. Now, something to note about Jen, she's currently using Brex's competitor. And Brex has launched a big rip and replace campaign to get their target accounts to use that competitor to make the switch. So Brex serves Jen with a compelling switch advertisement, and it piques her interest. When she clicks through, of course, she's taken back to their website. This is the center of their inbound motion. And as Jen arrives, Piper is dynamically changing the website for Jen as a buyer. How is this possible? Well, through Piper segmentation. Piper knows that Jen is in the rip and replace segment, and she uses that knowledge to shape her offer, her greeting, and even the calls to action across the website. So let's take a look in the back end of what this looks like. If we toggle into the qualified application, we can see what Piper can see. She's grouping each visitor into segments that matter for your business. And we can see here, Jen is falling into that competitive rip and replace campaign. She knows she has a high priority segment and she's got to convert her. So not only does Piper know her segment, she also has the Piper lead in Account 360. Clicking into Jen, Piper can see a unified view of Jen's lead record and the DocuSign account. Now, of course, she's got that sleek Piper lead spotlight. We've got an insane amount of data about Jen, and Piper can digest it in milliseconds and even flag which offer will suit her best. So Piper knows everything about Jen, her segment, her lead record, and her account, and she's ready to go to work. So toggling back to the website, Piper can leverage her new Piper offer library and serve up a relevant offer to Jen. Now remember, Piper knows all in-market offers and which offer will resonate best with the buyers. So Piper invites Jen to an upcoming virtual event, Discover the Brex Advantage. And this is a really valuable program for folks looking to make that switch. Now behind the offer, Piper's also connecting into calls to action. She's connecting into this button here. As Jen clicks through, Piper doesn't need to send her over to a form. Piper already knows this is Jen. She can override that experience and invite Jen to book a meeting quickly. Now, when Jen clicks that button, Piper's instantly referencing those Piper Account 360 insights. She knows Jen is part of that DocuSign account, and she's looking at which rep is aligned to that account. So Jen can book a meeting very seamlessly. That is a great experience for Jen as a buyer. Now, let's say Jen doesn't engage with the offer and maybe she didn't book that meeting. What we can see in the bottom right is Piper's ready to work and engage Jen. She's knowledgeable about Jen and the DocuSign account. She knows they're looking to make the switch. She's been fully onboarded with all of Brex's marketing materials and offers, so she's ready to have an on-message, engaging conversation. Now, Piper also has rules of engagement, and she knows how to stay on track and which questions to avoid. And now, with Piper Advanced Goals, she has clear guidance on how to steer this conversation toward conversion. So Piper's fully equipped to have this conversation. So if we dive in, we can see the first message that Piper sends is referencing that Account 360 data. Hi, DocuSign team. I'm Piper, the AI SDR. How can I help? And then she sends a follow-up nudge with even more personalization. I saw you're exploring concurrent alternatives. Ready to talk about making the switch? So let's watch what happens when Jen asks certain questions. We'll go ahead and start with the first question. Does Brex offer self-serve travel booking and itinerary management? Piper is able to provide an on-message response and articulate the competitive advantage, and she'll provide a relevant offer within the context of the conversation, such as this DoorDash case study. But what happens when Jen asks more of a nuanced question? Something like, what does pricing look like? In the back of Piper's mind, she knows she can't answer specific pricing questions. So she'll give a high-level overview and then recommend that Jen books the meeting further. But what if Jen were to respond in a different language? Let's say French. Well, Piper multi-language is officially here. Piper can not only respond, she also can proactively engage and surface content in 17 different languages, including French, like you see here. Just like we saw earlier, Piper's going to offer up the calendar for the account rep that's aligned to the DocuSign account. And this is some major new capabilities of Piper 2025 in action. Jen was a high priority segment. She clicked through to the website. Piper dynamically transformed the website to be based on the rich lead and account insights that she has. And she ultimately converted Jen into a meeting. This is super incredible. Maura, I'm going to hand it back over to you to unpack the next major set of capabilities for Piper 2025. Maura, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Katie, for that first part of the demo. So let's head into our next portion of the Piper 2025 demo, where we'll see some exciting new capabilities come to life as Piper does inbound lead follow-up, Piper Lead Capture, Piper Email, Piper Scheduling Assistant, Piper Workflows, and Piper Custom LLMs. First up, Piper Lead Capture. Piper can quickly capture leads at different touchpoints across the website, like in a single field form or within a conversation. The moment a new lead is captured, Piper automatically enriches the lead with data from all of your go-to-market systems, like your CRM or your ABM platforms. Now, as a marketer, you don't need to worry about multi-field forms, tacking on lead enrichment tools, or adding friction to the buying process. Piper instantly captures and enriches leads and then uses that data to shape her interactions. And how does Piper engage with those leads? With Piper Email, of course, which will be generally available on February 1st. Now, Piper can harmoniously work across your most important marketing channels, both the website and the email inbox. With Piper Email, Piper instantly and intelligently follows up with inbound leads, like those who fill out a contact us form, a scheduled demo form, or even leads captured at events. And part of what makes Piper Email so powerful, when someone clicks through an email and they arrive on the site, Piper is ready to convert them. No other AI SDR in the market can send email and convert on the website like Piper does. Now, we've been using Piper Email in production here at Qualified alongside some valuable customers in the Trusted Tester program. And as the CMO, it's given me tremendous confidence that all marketing-generated leads are getting fast, contextual email follow-up, and they're getting converted quickly. And speaking of conversion, with the new Piper Scheduling Assistant, Piper guarantees that every link included in an email campaign schedules a meeting with the right rep. How does she know how to do this? Well, remember those lead and account insights we showed earlier? Piper leverages that same knowledge across email too. That's the power of the Piper platform. Piper includes a booking link in all emails and upon click-through, intelligently schedules a meeting with the right rep. From a campaign setup perspective, this makes things easy. You don't need to fumble with different reps' calendar links for different email campaigns. Piper does it all for you. Next up, we've got Piper Workflows. You can now configure Piper to trigger actions in different systems. For instance, she can change a lead status in Salesforce, add someone to a campaign, and send notifications across email and Slack. With Piper Workflows, Piper can work in concert with your marketing operations and streamline processes. And to cap it all off for Piper 2025, it's Piper Custom LLMs. For more sophisticated businesses, you can train your own large language models and connect it with Qualified. With this functionality, Piper is always enterprise ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump into the next part of the demo and showcase Piper doing inbound lead follow-up. Katie, over to you.
All right, thanks, Maura. So for this use case, we're going to move away from Jen as a buyer, and we're moving over to a brand new buyer. This buyer is totally anonymous. They haven't filled out a form. They haven't engaged with Piper. We really don't know who this buyer is. So as they're navigating around and poking around the website, they're getting up to speed with their technical offerings. And this buyer lands on the integrations page, and he's poking around to learn a little bit more. Now, this buyer is a little bit more old school. And guess what? So are a lot of buyers. B2B websites are still littered with forms, and that's still how a lot of buyers choose to engage. But not to worry, Piper has got you covered. So check this out. This is Piper Lead Capture. Now, you might know that Piper captures leads in conversations and in offers, but did you know that Piper can also capture leads with short forms across the website? Now, we all love a single field form. It's very easy on the buyer. But the real magic of Piper Lead Capture is the real-time enrichment that happens behind the scenes. So when this buyer, Jimmy, provides his email address and clicks Submit, Piper is automatically enriching that lead with relevant data from your go-to-market systems. She's building out that lead in Account 360 that we saw earlier. So Piper captures Jimmy as a lead and enriches his lead record. And if we go back to that traditional process that Craig had referenced earlier, we know that when Jimmy had submitted that lead, he gets a standard message, "Thanks, we'll be in touch soon." And in that process, he had filled out the form, he would get a score, he would get synced to Salesforce, get assigned to a sales rep, they'd have to find the right email template, they'll personalize the email, and by the time they follow up, it's been a while. The best in the industry can do this in 90 minutes. Sometimes this is taking hours, if not days. Well, watch what happens with Piper Email. As I navigate over into Jimmy's inbox, what we can see is not only is Piper in his inbox instantly, it has a high degree of personalization. I can even see that in the subject line. Let's connect and explore Brex's solutions for Snowflake. There's that lead enrichment data. Hi, Jimmy. I noticed you were recently visiting our Brex integration page. Piper is deeply knowledgeable about Jimmy's website behavior, and this is totally unique for Piper as an AI SDR. She works harmoniously across those channels on the website and in email. If there's specific tools like Coupa, Naven, and NetSuite, again, she's leveraging that Piper offer library to surface the most relevant piece of content for Jimmy. And here's Piper's scheduling assistant. Piper is including a simple meeting link in the email. And on the back end, if Jimmy were to click through, she's routing Jimmy to the right rep on the Snowflake account. Jimmy can click through and can book a meeting right on the spot. Now, this is really great because what we know of the buyers that engage in your inbound nurture follow-up emails, 50% of them will click through and book that meeting. But then what happens to the other 50%? Well, the other 50% of buyers go back to your website. So as I navigate back to the website and click through the content that Piper had provided, In the bottom right, we're going to see Piper engaging with Jimmy in a very personalized way. She's personalizing it based on her tremendous knowledge of Jimmy and his activity on the website. So if we recap what Piper knows about Jimmy, she knows that he had filled out a form, which is powered by Piper. She knows he's looking to get in touch with sales. She's enriching his lead record, so she knows everything about his lead and account and that he's a target buyer. She knows he had clicked through her email, and she knows he's on the website now, and this is her time to achieve her goal and to get a meeting booked. So we can see her greet him. Welcome back, Jimmy. Looks like you clicked through my email and are ready to learn more about the Maven integration. I know you're trying to contact our sales organization. Should we get that meeting on the books? And if Jimmy responds yes, just like what we saw earlier, Piper will reference that Account 360 data and will be able to surface up the meeting link for the right rep. Now, the moment this happens, Piper will kick off her workflows. In an instant, Piper will be able to create an opportunity on the Snowflake account. She'll notify the sales rep that this meeting was booked, and she'll be able to provide other actions in Salesforce, such as creating activities and enrichment. So we just saw Piper capture a lead and enrich that lead, do instant email follow-up, and invite Jimmy to schedule a sales meeting and ultimately convert Jimmy on the website. With Piper 2025, Piper is the only AI SDR in the market who can work both across the website and in the email inbox to drive pipeline. Craig, back over to you.
Wow, awesome. Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Maura. That was incredible. That was Piper 2025 in action. We just saw Piper engaging and converting a strategic account and then doing inbound lead follow-up instantly. She's doing it all autonomously and at scale. Hundreds of companies have hired Piper onto their teams, and now we're going to turn it over to a fantastic customer to hear how it's going. Please welcome Dan Darcy and Jason Dent, the demand gen leader at Litmus. Over to you guys.
Thanks, Craig. Well, I'm joined today by an incredible marketing leader at Litmus, Jason Dent. And what I love about Jason's background is that he started off on the sales side, but his expertise is driving demand gen for amazing companies such as Aperio, Campaign Monitor, and Zendesk. So I'm excited to have this conversation today. Jason, thanks for joining.
Absolutely. Excited to be here.
Well, let's jump right into it. So you heard Craig talk about how AI is disrupting the traditional marketing funnel. Tell me a little bit about your perspective on the promise of Piper, the AI SDR, and the new the AI marketing funnel.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree that, the traditional marketing funnel is not efficient. There are a lot of processes that limit you: working hours, SDR bandwidth, the MQL handoff process. Sometimes you're dealing with inexperienced SDRs who need ramp up time. And SDRs in general have a lot on their plate, right? Any demand gen person has experienced, you have to send several MQLs over to SDRs with just a portion of those that convert over to a discovery call or pipeline, right? So we play this conversion game, and the SDRs are basically sifting through a lot of leads and MQLs just to find the cream of the crop. So that's an inefficient process in general. And this also means that SDRs aren't always available, right? So sometimes your leads will sit there, even hot inbound leads. And when you add all that up, that's a considerable portion of pipeline that you might be leaving on the table, right? And so it begs the question, how much more pipeline could you be generating or could we be generating if we always had a fully ramped SDR that could work those inbound leads instantaneously? So the promise of AI and Piper is super exciting because, she can convert those inbound leads around the clock. And there's no leaky bucket per se. So you're not limited by geo or bandwidth or headcount costs. So it really gives us a truly scalable option for pipeline generation. And the other thing that I think might be overlooked is it really helps weed out the tire kickers, right? Which is kind of the hidden cost of bad MQLs that get sent to SDRs. You hear different numbers thrown out there, but essentially only 5% of your TAM is in market in a buying cycle at any given moment, right? So 95% of your prospects are in this engagement research phase, and they just are looking for solutions that might solve problems that they have down the road. And I think the benefit of Piper that we didn't fully realize initially is they can work the full funnel. They don't need, they can work these leads that are in research phase and not waste valuable time with an SDR who's not really incentivized to engage prospects that are in that stage and aren't ready to buy. And so not only are we seeing improvement in our bottom of the funnel metrics and things like, meetings and opportunities and pipeline, but we're seeing cost savings in the time and efficiency of our human SDR. So it's a double benefit.
That's awesome. I mean, so you've been on your AI journey with Qualified now, and we love working with you and your team. And you just recently hired Piper, but you personified her to match the Litmus brand, which you're calling Lit Moose. Like, how did you land on that persona?
Yeah, it's a great question. So our CEO, Eric, he actually, he grew up with a pet moose when he was a kid. It's kind of crazy. So he's always been talking about this moose. And so a while ago, we decided, Lit Moose is a play on Litmus. It kind of just tied together. So we started doing this moose as our swag at events, and people loved it. Those things fly off our booths when we're at events, and we get emails about them. People want to know if we can mail one for their kid and whatnot. So it kind of has become the unofficial mascot of Litmus. And so when this came up, we were like, well, should it be a human or should it be the Lit Moose? And we thought we would test it out and just see. And our gut was, most people understand that this is AI. We state it in there when we, that this is an AI chatbot. They realize it's not technically a human. So we thought maybe there won't be any drop off. And so far, it hasn't deterred engagement at all. People like talking to the Lit Moose. So
I love it. I mean, the moose is on the loose. I mean, and I love it when our customers really personify and really give a brand and to Piper, and so they can make it their own. So now you've been living with Lit Moose for about 40 days now. Why did you hire Lit Moose onto your team, and what's your strategy for your AI SDR?
Yeah, we're currently testing our way into kind of the optimal setup for our team. We didn't want to have like a super specific, rigid rules in place. We want to, but we're starting with the premise that everything should be touched by Piper first. So everything goes through Piper before it routes to any sort of sales team. And we're doing this because we think that the more that Piper can be both the gatekeeper and the collector of qualification data, the better our experience and our conversion rates will be across the board. So we're going that route, but also Piper, because it's AI based, it has access to our entire website, our entire help site. So in essence, they're the most trained up person, quote unquote, to answer any question via chat. Right? I love our SDRs. They're great. They're very knowledgeable, but they can't always be the expert that Piper can in some instances with very minute details about email marketing or certain questions that we get in the journey. And so, as I mentioned, with 95% of our prospects being in this research and education stage of their buying journey, Piper has been amazing at providing all the information that's needed at these various stages. So even if someone's not actively buying, we're still moving them down that path, and being able to share the value of our solutions and talk about pricing and answer high-level questions without having to waste the time of an SDR who really just wants to create opportunities, right? They don't necessarily want to have those high-level conversations if they don't have to. So she can get those leads educated, warmed up, qualified them, and then when they're actively in a buying cycle, can create those quality meetings and pipeline for our sales team. And so that's the strategy that we're taking right now.
Well, I mean, I love hearing how, you talk about the challenges that you're having with the capacity, the speed to lead, the quality of the conversations you're having, your SDRs may have, and how Piper can really help you there. But just tell us a little bit about your results that you're seeing with Piper now. Yeah,
honestly, it's been great. I haven't onboarded a solution that's provided this immediate impact in a long time. So it's been 40 days since our go live, and in that time we've booked 44 meetings for the sales team, and so far 13 of those have converted into opportunities for
incredible
over 220K in pipeline, right? So it's been really good just out the gate. And to put that into perspective, that's, we've nearly doubled our monthly booked meetings from our previous solution, and we've more than doubled our piped opportunities coming out of that. And so that's led to about a 65% increase in our monthly pipeline. But I expect that to go up too as more of these meetings actually take place that have been booked. And so I think that'll catch up and be in line with what we're seeing across the board. We knew we would get this improvement at the conversion stage. But like I said, what we didn't necessarily go into the buying process when we were looking at Qualified thinking about was how great Piper would be at engaging the people who are just kind of looking for information. We actually see prospects come to our site and use Piper almost like a search engine, and they'll just type in the keywords of what they're looking for, the question that they have, because they know that that'll help them pull up a help article or the right page on our site to get the information that they're looking for. So it's providing value to our prospects by surfacing the right content all the time and highlighting the different use cases of our solution to create deals in the future. And so it's been a huge success so far.
I love that because we call that aha moments, and that's a lot. I love when our customers have aha moments, and when I talk to our customers, they love that Piper is really a natural language interface for every website out there, and finding that information right at their fingertips so that they can either prospect themselves faster and get what they need as opposed to like just getting right to the answer right away. So that's awesome. So today we just announced Piper 2025 with big email capabilities. What's your reaction?
It's amazing. Piper's only getting more capable and smarter. And I think what I'm excited about is how we can further scale the experience that Piper can provide to our prospects in this buyer's journey. Being a email marketing solution at Litmus, we're really big on personalization. And so I'm excited to think about how we can further personalize this journey for prospects using Piper. One of the things we plan on doing in our rollout is really customizing these journeys based off of Salesforce segments and the data that we have to provide more relevant, personalized experiences to, like strategic named accounts or certain verticals, things like that. And so I'm excited to be able to do that. And then, also the being able to have this be kind of a way for us to manage our data hygiene on things that we're taking in across all these different channels to normalize our first party data that we're collecting from prospects is really exciting too.
Yeah, data hygiene is extremely important. So a big start today is Piper working both the website and now the inbox. What's your take on that?
I think that's huge because, not everyone buys in the same way. Not everyone wants to engage with a chatbot or fill out a form on a site. Some people want to have conversations. Some people want to do their own research. Some people want to, exchange emails and kind of have it that way. And so I think being able to have Piper work to the preferences of the prospect is a huge benefit. But not only that, it gives marketing more control of that buying experience across all these channels, right? I can have assurance that my brand is coming across the same way in the email follow-up or the email outreach as it is on our website, and it's sharing the same message and the same value, which is something that is a constant process you have to work on as you're working with human SDRs of like, how are you following up on these? How are you working these? What messaging are you using? What is working? What's resonating? So to me, it's a natural evolution of those two things, and I think it makes total sense.
Awesome. Final thought. You have a lot of demand gen marketers honestly watching right now, planning their strategy for the year, really thinking about how they should be approaching this new world with this new AI marketing funnel. What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, I would say, I view Piper and AI in general as a way to get more efficient, right? It's not about replacing SDRs. It's about freeing up their time and allowing them to be more precise on what they work on. And so anywhere that you can start to remove inefficiencies from the process, you're going to see better numbers come out the back end. But AI also now really empowers the marketing team as well, right? As marketers, we have to be thinking about our brand and how that's coming across at not just the marketing part of the journey, but the sales part of the journey too, right? And those two things are married together. And so Piper and AI gives us this control over this experience to make sure that our prospects are experiencing the value that we've been working on as a marketing team across every experience. And so it's super exciting, to be honest.
It is really exciting. So, Jason, I really enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you for being such a great customer. Thank you for your partnership, and really thank you for being here today.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
All right. Well, Craig, back to you.
Incredible conversation. Thank you, Dan, and thank you so much, Jason, for sharing your story. Ladies and gentlemen, Piper 2025 is here. And with these new capabilities, Piper is ushering in a whole new era, a new AI marketing funnel, and transforming pipeline generation as we know it. Would you like to see a custom demo of Piper 2025 for your company? We would love to show you what she can do for you to help put you back in the driver's seat of pipeline generation. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time.